the idea of this course is to enable us to remove that which is artificial in us and holding us down, so that that space can be taken up by the divine qualities, and we can see more clearly. I teach everyone not only how to elevate their view to get a bigger sense of landscape, but in so doing, where you see the error. We get caught up in illusion, in things that just aren't true. Fantasy isn't necessarily a good thing typically. Fantasy is you thinking something and having this idea in your head about a scenario, a relationship, an opportunity, a lack of opportunity, your life situation that's actually not true, but that's what you've fastened onto. It's your mental vision, and it's false fantasy. It's destructive fantasy, and all of these things are dysfunctional. They're zapping our power. They're zapping our energy. They're making it harder and harder for us to get to a place where we can embody that divine essence, making us more inclined to disintegrate, to self-destruct, to fall apart. And I want to help people stop that process, stop that self-destructive process, so they can actually embody those divine qualities and have the upgrades, and then see what happens with their life. It'll have an immediate impact, and the beauty is, again, once you catch these things, the power starts flooding back to you immediately, because you've seen it, and you can't unsee it. It now makes sense. It's like if you didn't know that the sun was good for you, and suddenly you realized it was. It has an immediate effect. Even if it's not a sunny day, you suddenly understand, and in that understanding, the energy comes back to you. With that, we get the great inspiration, the creativity that fills us, that makes us want to. It gives us our sense of purpose. We are filled with the functional feelings as opposed to dysfunctional feelings. We're filled with drive to do the right thing and be able to access and assert the discipline that's needed to do that, because the right thing isn't typically the easy thing, but it makes it easier for us to do the right thing even when it's hard, because it's once again a standard key part of our makeup. It's resumed its place in our as part of our makeup. The Exalted Life is about enabling people to see what they couldn't see before, and then to learn how to continue to expand that aperture, to continue to gain more and more perspective, to gain a vaster perception of what's actually happening. So when we're in a very limited situation where we can't see the full picture, we can be controlled. We can be told what the full picture is. That's a real problem, because then we're operating unwittingly, doing things that may not actually be good for us because we're so controllable. We become less controllable, hence more sovereign, as we gain in altitude, as we gain in vision and perspective. So I'm going to help everyone gain some altitude and see what's happening, so that they can restore their power to themselves, so that they're not at the mercy of being controlled, which is actually being enslaved. Because the only people that want to control you, or the only factions or entities that would like to be in control of you, are the ones that want to exploit you. So if we're being controlled, we're not being loved. It's not a benevolent force that controls. A benevolent force teaches, educates, guides, helps you to bring your full abilities, gifts, faculties to their highest expression. So as we gain altitude, we gain an understanding of our creator, of the source creator. And we start to understand what our functionality, our qualities actually can be too, because we're like vessels of that source creation. So that's what I mean when I talk about being able to embody our greatest potential. Our greatest potential lies in understanding the qualities of the Supreme Creator and the Source Creator, the Supreme being. We have the ability to either be full of those qualities, or to have them all shut down so that we never experience that, and so we remain disempowered.